Before we start, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Go to squarespace.com/Kairos and save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime, and it is time to give my 100% honest opinion of the Sandy updates. Also known as the one more brawler that I'll never get update. I mean, not me. I mean, I got it. If you missed that, then well, you should go watch it. But guys, as always, I'm going to be 100% completely honest about whether or not I like this update. I'm going to start this video by saying that this has probably been my favorite update over like the past year, but there are definitely some things that I think need to be improved and like some tweaks that need to happen with Lone Star and Takedown. Also, there were some issues that I felt like haven't been addressed yet. So we're going to touch on that, but you know what has been addressed? All of your website and domain needs, guys. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build an amazing presence and run your online business. Or just because you want to make a website filled with Jessie fan art, because you like that kind of stuff. Squarespace makes it easy for you to create a site that fits your needs. You don't need to know how to code or use plugins. It really is that simple. And they make it easy for you to purchase the best domain for you directly from Squarespace. You can actually try squarespace.com with a free trial. And then once you're ready to launch your site, you can use code Kairos or go to squarespace.com/Kairos to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Okay guys, let's start off by talking about the newest brawler who took the game by Sandstorm. That's right, Sandy. The dad jokes really don't get that much better, guys. Now, when reviewing a new brawler, there are a few different things that I like to consider, okay? First of all, artwork and personality. Second of all, how fun and unique the brawler is to play. And then third, how balanced the brawler is. When it comes to Sandy's artwork and personality, I think the team did such a good job with him, okay? I love the fact that he's like super like apathetic and just doesn't seem to care, and he's always tired. That's something we've never had in the game, and I really like that. I do think that it's a little weird how much he looks like he could be a girl, especially with a name like Sandy. I wasn't the only one that was confused, right guys? Like that confused some of you guys too, right? But I do think the way that he looks just looks awesome, and it absolutely fits the Brawl Stars world, especially because he seems like he could be somehow related to Jean and Tara. When it comes to how fun and unique he is, I have had such a blast playing him. He feels a lot like Leon did back when Leon was first released, before Supercell gave him some really serious nerfs. And as far as the gameplay goes, he's actually played somewhat similar to Leon, which isn't actually like super original, but out of all the legendaries right now, I think that he's my favorite to play for the time being. I don't know, the legendary brawlers are all really fun to play, so it's kind of tough to say. Now, as far as balance goes, Sandy's OP. He's ridiculously strong right now. He's not as strong as Rosa was or Leon was when they were first released, but I would still consider him to be the strongest brawler in the game. My tier list collaborators are still working on the next tier list, so we don't know about that. We'll see what they have to say, but I think he's super strong. It was incredibly easy for me to push him to 700 trophies really easily with randoms while live streaming on Twitch. I mean, like when I'm live streaming, like I never play, I play pretty well on Twitch, but I play the best when I'm just sitting down and focusing. I'm not thinking about entertaining, right? But it was super easy, and it was so fast. The fact that Sandy can go invisible for 12 seconds and his teammates can be hidden as well is just insane, guys. And his star power is crazy good too. Like his star power is so good. Not only do enemy players take damage while in the area, but that makes it so that they can't hide and they can't heal for that time. And that means that for 12 seconds, Sandy's team is going to have massive control over a big area of the field, which is crazy. I definitely think that Sandy's super needs to be nerfed. Either its duration needs to be decreased, or the area that it covers needs to be smaller, or both. Honestly, like, it's so good. Aside from that, though, I actually think that Sandy's pretty good right now. You kind of have to keep your distance. He might have a little bit too much burst potential, but I don't know. I think aside from his super, that'd be a good place for Supercell to start. Now let's talk about the two new modes really fast. I love the two new modes. Even better is the fact that they're both solo modes. I love that. Oh man, we've been wanting solo modes and they added two of them. That's so cool. The best part is that it's also not beneficial for you to team in these modes. Like, it's so fun. Oh, I just love it. I really do love it. It's so good, and I'm really glad that it comes with 10 free tokens every day, as well as a free star token every day. Now, I'm going to talk about Lone Star and Takedown both individually, but I wanted to touch on one thing that I just feel like Supercell just didn't listen last time. I don't know. I'm in the minority here, and I understand that, but I really wish that the third slot wasn't Brawl Ball every single day. I did a poll a couple of days ago asking my viewers if they preferred it that way, or if they preferred it the way that it was in the past with Siege and Brawl Ball in like the third slot and Bounty and Heist in the fourth slot. And I know that this is going to discredit my argument because 60% voted that they prefer it this way and 40% said they preferred it the other way. But I don't know. I think it's important that I recognize that I know that I'm speaking an unpopular opinion, but it's not that unpopular. 40% is a lot of people, and it doesn't change the way that I and 40% feel. And personally, a lot of us really like Brawl Ball not as much as the other modes, and we want those other modes more frequently. When it comes to the 3v3 modes, I love Siege the most, Heist second, Gem Grab third, Bounty fourth, and Brawl Ball fifth. I would even be fine with another 3v3 mode swapping with Brawl Ball, but I just hope that they're still considering things and they're still looking at things, and maybe I'll have my way and I can play Siege more often, or not even that. I know you guys don't like Siege that much. Heist more often. Boom. There you go. Okay. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, let's talk about those two new game modes, guys. In general, I think that Supercell really needs to give more information regarding how well you're actually doing in the mode. Like, you need to know what place you're in. This was the first piece of feedback I gave them regarding the mode, and it's the first piece of feedback all of you guys gave after you first tried it. I've heard a lot of suggestions on how to do this, and I think that the simplest solution is probably the best. I think all that Supercell really needs to do is show you what place you are specifically, and then also show how many points the first place player has, so that you know how much you need to improve. And if you're in first place, it should show how many points the second place player has, so that you know how close you are to being overtaken. I don't think that we need to know which player is first or which placements are for every brawler, because I do think that that could actually lead to a strategy advantage for teamers, and I don't want that. Also, as for replays and spectating, I actually think that we do need a leaderboard, an actual leaderboard that shows points so that you can actually see how much the match is progressing. This is very important as far as esports concerned, and I really do think it needs to be addressed pretty quickly, because, you know, I want to stream this mode with competition in mind, and right now it's not really very viable. Now, regarding Lone Star specifically, I love the mode, and I'm actually surprised at how much I like it and how it actually feels pretty balanced. There are certainly some brawlers that are better than others, but I've seen a wide variety of brawlers that can actually win with it. I think that it's more skill-based than Solo Showdown, and I really love that. The fact that Island Invasion was the first map for the mode, I felt like that was a little unfortunate, because it kind of gave people a bad taste, as, you know, there were just a bunch of shotgunners running around and spawn camping people. But I actually think that that can be fun as well. I don't think that Supercell needs to address that, but let me think about that a little bit more before I actually say that. Now, with all that said, I do feel like Lone Star does feel a little flat, if that makes any sense. I think that Supercell could do a couple of small things to really improve it. First of all, I wish that there were random locations on the map, or maybe even just set locations on the map, where bounty stars would actually pop up every now and then, just like in the center of the beginning of the match. I feel like that would absolutely give an incentive to fight over certain locations, and if you didn't know where players were, you could always go to a spawn location of the bounty star and try and fight over it. Like, you know, you could at least get points if, like, everybody was on the opposite side of the map. Now, another thing that I think they could do is add a couple of, like, random clouds of poison that blocks off certain parts, and that maybe that map of that cloud could just like float around different parts or things like that. Or even they could just add showdown event modifiers to help keep the meta fresh, because I have a feeling that after, you know, it was fun for a couple of days, but after a while the mode I think it's gonna feel a little stale. That's just my first impression. And now let's talk about Takedown specifically. Now, I've tested Takedown a ton. This day has been released, and I've had an entire day to play on it competitively against other players, but I've also gotten like really skilled players. I'm up from my friends list, 17,000 players and up, to like really test things out. And I've also done a lot of streaming with friendly matches with viewers on Twitch, so that I can like really test it out and see what feels good for the game mode, despite it only having been out for one day. Now, for starters, I think that this mode is more fun than Lone Star, while needing a lot more work to make it a little bit more fair. The biggest issue with competitive matches where everyone is skilled and everyone is max brawlers is that the bot's health gets shredded through very quickly. Okay, when playing with my friends that are over 17,000 trophies, most matches only lasted a minute and 15 seconds to a minute and 30 seconds. And even then, in competitive matches in the ladder, most matches ended around that minute and 30 second mark. And if you get killed around the minute mark, it's very likely that you're going to lose the entire match because of respawning super far away from the bot. I think that the game mode has absolutely incredible potential, but I think that Supercell needs to make a lot of tweaks to make the mode more fun, more enjoyable, and more fair. First of all, they either need to give the bot more health, or what I think is the better idea, they need to make it so that the bot has unlimited amounts of health, or so much health that you're not going to be able to take it out, but that the game mode ends after 2 minutes. Okay, this would make it more fair for players, you know, in lower trophies that don't have max out brawlers as well, you know. But then also it would scale up basically. Additionally, guys, the spawning away from the boss is so frustrating because depending on where the boss is, it's entirely possible for you to spend 30 whole seconds walking to the boss. And if the match ends at a minute and 30 seconds, one death can cost you a third of the match, and that can be very frustrating. It's like super lucky when you spawn next to the boss, but when you spawn super far away, just so unfair. I think that this can be fixed by making spawn locations more like a circle around the center of the map, kind of like in Feast or Famine, but like, you know, a little bit bigger, so that you're more likely to spawn close to the bot. Additionally, I do think it would be nice if the bot couldn't be pulled away from the center so far. Like, a lot of the times, like, one player will just pull that bot and, you know, get aggro and bring it all the way to the edge of the map, and then it's super hard for anybody else to deal any damage to it. And I like the strategy. I think it's a little unfair, and I wish that the bot would actually just stay somewhat close to the center of the map. My last piece of feedback for the mode is for players to be able to actually charge up their super on the boss bot, but not like the normal, okay? I'm talking about a very reduced rate, like maybe a 1/6. That way, like, Shelly couldn't just recharge her super over and over and over again, right? Without this as an option, playing many brawlers that function best with their supers really feel like something is missing. And I really like the mode a lot, but I think that it's I think that would add to it to make the mode feel more complete, if that makes sense. I really like the mode a lot. I do think that it's less balanced than Lone Star is, but with that said, maybe my opinion will change the more I actually play it competitively. I do think that these changes do need to be made, or something similar to it needs to be improved for the next update. Okay, guys, now let's talk about the skins, starting with Pirate Jean. First of all, I think this skin has a lot of nice touches to it. It looks cool. I'm kind of confused with what the tattoo is on his belly. I think it's like a squid. I don't know. That's a little weird. I don't know. It's not my favorite, but I cannot ignore the fact that Pirate Jean is missing what could be the coolest part, an actual hook, or throwing out an anchor or something. Jean he's a hook brawler. Like, the pirate, come on! I obviously don't expect Supercell to make new attacks and super animations for every new skin, obviously. But for a Pirate Jean skin, I seriously felt like this was a missed opportunity. Even if they updated the super and made the attack animation look different, I would be fine paying 150 gems for it. I want the hook. I want it. I want it. It feels like it's just missing so much. Now, Sleepy Sandy, I really like Sleepy Sandy. I can't really talk too much about it. I love the fact that it's got those spike slippers on it. I think that's really cool. And I love the fact that Supercell is listening to the community and is adding 30 gem skins. Seriously love that. And this one is really, really cool. So I want that. Now, as a reminder, guys, assuming that Supercell lets me do it like they did with Spike, Leon, and Crow, there's a very good chance I will be doing a Sandy giveaway with his Sleepy skin over on Twitch. So make sure you guys follow so that you can increase your chances of getting him, because the more you watch, increase your chance you get. So, you know, yeah. For Red Wizard Barley, I don't have a whole lot that I want to say about the skin. I love it. I think it's worth the 2,500 star points because it's such a cool skin. However, I would like to update you guys on my opinion regarding star points and Supercell giving us more rewards. I've been doing a lot of thinking regarding star points, as well as how you guys are responding to my complaints on how ridiculously exclusive the Golden Crow and Golden Bow skins are. Most people seem to agree with me that the cost of these skins is too high for how much effort is required to earn those required star points. However, I can also agree with those of you that are saying that they like that the skins are really exclusive. And I agree with that. My biggest concern though is that Super is going to keep on adding super exclusive 50,000 star point skins, and that it's essentially going to be impossible for anyone to get them all. I want super fancy exclusive golden skins for every brawler in the game. And that's where my two desires conflict with each other, because I don't want it to be impossible to collect everything if you've been playing for a long time. And 29 skins that all take a year to get for a casual player, I don't like that. So after thinking a lot about it, I think that the current rate of star points is probably fine, still near like the low amount and should be buffed. But I do think that Golden Crow and Bow skins should have their skins cut in half, and Supercell should make more exclusive skins for other brawlers. You know, obviously people that have bought it, they would get refunded and then be able to buy the other one. Just figured that I would give you guys a quick update on that because I'm passionate about it and I didn't want to leave you guys in the dark. Now let's talk about El Primo's remodel. I don't actually have a whole lot to say about this remodel other than the fact that I love it. I think they did an incredible job updating them. Both of the skins are amazing. I mean, I'm curious how many gems you guys saved by buying the skins before the update, okay? 50 for El Rudo, 70 gems for El Rey, or 120 for both, or 0 because you didn't listen to my video and you didn't get the suggestion. Just putting that out there. I gave you guys a warning. Now, I also really love the Rico got some new animations. Loaded Ricos is seriously the coolest animation in the game. It's so cool. I love that they went back and they added some upgrades to Beach, Brock, and Summertime Jesse. That's my favorite, one of my favorite skins, and the fact that they went and revamped it is so awesome. The flowing orb of water and the duck water pellets, and they also made it fit with Shocky's star power. That's really cool. I give huge props to Supercell going back to these old skins, revamping them, and make them a little bit more worth the gem cost. That's really, really cool. Now, let's quickly talk about balance changes. I'm going to need some more time to really test them out, but, let me answer some quick questions that people frequently ask. I love the changes for Crow. I definitely think the buffs for Pam and Rosa were justified. I thought that 8-Bit's nerf was a good start, but he's still probably a little too strong, and he's probably still really easy for you guys to push if you go for it right now. I'm worried that Mortis's nerf wasn't the best for him. I'm very happy with Piper's and Shelly's nerfs. They feel really good to me now. I think that Tick needed a damage nerf rather than a nerf to his star power. And of course, I really like the rebalances for Poco's star powers. That's really epic. Now, additionally, I was really hoping for some improvements for gaining trophies at really high trophy counts, because in order for you guys to get rank 35, you have to sit through up to 10 to 15 minutes of matchmaking between every single match. The grind is ridiculously long. It takes up to 3 hours if you have 0 losses, and every time you have one more loss after like 12,000, then it sets you back an entire hour of pushing. It's ridiculous. Now, with that said though, I do think that this was one of the best updates we've had over the past year for Brawl Stars, and I think that Supercell did a fantastic job, especially so quickly after the most recent update. I still think some tweaks need to be made. I already covered that, obviously, and I really want to know what you guys think about this update, so please let me know. What did you like? What did you dislike? For now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.